Hi guys, Legendary Basil Games here. I have a small theory on who Ashei is in The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I believe that actually she might be part of Link's family. Maybe she's the older sister of Link, or actually possibly like a cousin, but we don't really know much about her as a person or like anything, but we do know that she was raised by a man that was a soldier and raised her as her own, or raised her as his own son, although she is his daughter. It is possible that Link and her are possibly related, and the guy that was raising her was actually Link's father. Basically, I think that may actually tie in to who she as a character. She is as a character, and like also what her mental health condition possibly could be, because May last month was Mental Health Awareness Month. I go to therapy and all of that stuff, and I was just thinking, what if this person is not all there in the brain department, and that's why they're saying they don't know much about Snow Peak, which she may have been raised there, and Link may have been raised there for all we know. He may have some war traumas, which they are very brutal traumas at that. In wars, there's footage online that you can find of war and all of that, of Civil War, World War II, all of them type of events. But like, I think that basically her and Link, they don't know each other, and maybe she may be a little bit older than him. Obviously, she kind of looks a little older than him, to be honest. Maybe in her early 20s, perhaps. Maybe 30 if we're really pushing it. But she may be older and have more experience in the Department of War, and the reason why she can't remember anything about Snow Peak Mansion and he doesn't remember anything is perhaps because she was too young to remember, and Link probably wasn't even born during that time, or if he was, he's probably even younger than her. Maybe he was just born or whatever, because Link was really young in Ocarina of Time, but that's a topic for a separate video, that he was born during Hyrule's Civil War, or the Hylian Civil War, which this may have been a different Civil War, which Hyrule has had too many to count at this point. But that may tie into the fact that they could be possible descendants of the hero of Hyrule, Link, and that may have been at one point his mansion, and that's the reason why the mansion is so old, torn down, and the reason why they are around Snow Peak Mansion is because they have to go there to train, etc., and it's used for a training ground, but at one point it was possibly their residence, and maybe they had like family up there, perhaps. Maybe they were powerful authoritarian figures, which we know that people around that time possibly could have been authoritarian figures, and that's the reason why the mansion is so destroyed, looks so old, is because perhaps that was never finished, even when it was fully a thing, and the hole in the roof is possibly caused by a war that existed there, or the settlement was attacked by Ganondorf, because we know that he's a real dick, if we're being honest, and he probably attacked the summit. And that's the reason why it is the way it is. And that's the reason why there's a giant hole in the roof, which nobody can explain, which I'm trying to explain. actually, they are the remnants of that castle, and they were both related to whoever was living there at the time. Could have been a king, for all we know. Link's dad might have been really important, and that whole entire mansion might have been his, might have been Link's mother's. But that's who I think lived there, was Link's dad, and Link's dad is Ashei's dad, and they can't remember because it was a really long time ago. Hence the PTSD diagnosis. They may actually be war veterans, and that's the reason why they don't act like they're all there in the brain department, because that's maybe the reason why Link can't talk, because he has some kind of trauma, which he can't talk. Maybe he acquired it sometime during them events, and his traumas would include war-related traumas, including torture, the devastation of a person's community or country, or witnessing acts of violence related to that. And that's the reason why he cannot speak. If he does speak, it's very little, given the times that he does speak, or if he's speaking, it's not very much. But maybe we just don't hear him. Maybe he's saying it very quietly, etc. But his things would include flashbacks, feelings like, what people with PTSD often experience, which anxiety, difficulty concentrating, difficulty remembering some aspects of the trauma, which that would tie into the fact that she doesn't remember anything about that settlement or whatever, except that her father was training her there as his own son, etc. And why Link doesn't know anything. That would be the mental health part of it. Difficulty making decisions, confusion, intrusive thoughts about what happened, a sense of deterioration mentally. Emotional would be anxiety, fear of terror, anger, irritability, grief, feeling of being numb, detached, guilt, feeling of helplessness, alienation, a feeling of vulnerability, a feeling of abandonment, physical affection. Well, yeah. Physical effects with increased startle response, exhaustion, insomnia, headaches, nausea, and other digestive problems, rapid heartbeat, a spacey feeling, a loss of interest in or pleasure from other usual activities, relationship effects, which be hostility, withdrawal, lack of interest, and other relations in a relationship, poor work or school performance, which he would probably go to some kind of Knights Academy or something, and maybe he wouldn't have very good performance, which kind of ties into the fact that he's so young. She probably would have experienced this as well, but when you experience things like that, you experience different things, etc. Blame, a desire to nest, that is, stay home and avoid contact from the outside world, overprotectiveness of family members involved in the trauma. So basically, these two people are most likely war veterans, and the reason why they are the way they are is because of the way they live their lives and the time frame that it's set in, and that's why Ashei can't remember the Snow Peak Mansion and all of that, because she was probably most likely traumatized by Ganondorf or his soldiers, and being a soldier for so long, etc., and all of that. And that's probably why she doesn't know who her relatives are, possibly, but we know that she knows who her father was, but it's not explicitly stated in the game, and the possibility that she does not remember that her and Link are related. If they are, if Miyamoto would just frickin' say who they're related to, because he's not very good at that. He's not very good at stating things. But anyway, like the video, subscribe to the page, hit the notification bell. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.